everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you're new here, my name is Stephanie and I cover oily skin, hooded eyes, and beauty. So welcome back to my eye primer wars. Today's episode 6. So if you're watching this in the future, I will link all the videos down below for you. I will be testing out 10 drugstore eye primers for your hooded eyes. And for each of these, I do want to see how well they work when being set with a setting powder and how well they work without being set with a setting powder. So let's go ahead and get into eye primer number 6. And that's going to be the Colourpop Party Proof Eye Primer. So this primer claims to prep eyelids for a smooth and vibrant eyeshadow application. This also claims to be crease proof and long wearing. I tested this product out for 2 days and day 1 is my first impression, so let's roll the tape. Today's day 1 and I have nothing on my eyelids, so let's go ahead and get into the eye primer. Here is what this is looking like. As you can see, there's no color to it and it does feel silky smooth. Definitely silicone-y. Okay, let's go ahead and put this on my eyelid. I'm only going to put it on the right side, so that way I have a side-by-side comparison on how well the primer is doing. Yeah, this is very, very thick. So here's a side-by-side comparison on what the primer is looking like. It has definitely mattified my eyelid. So this has actually dried down really, really nicely. And to be honest, I don't even feel like I need to set it with a setting powder, but of course I'm going to, and then tomorrow I will not set it. All right, so that layered down beautifully. Now let's go ahead and get into the eyeshadow. Okay, so far so good, but of course my favorite part of this is to test out the blending process. Okay, so this is blending out beautifully. I don't see any patchiness. I don't see any skipping or anything like that. So let's go ahead and deepen up the outer thirds. Okay, so far this is looking so good. And this eye primer is making it so easy to blend out this eyeshadow. I noticed I went just a little bit too deep on the outer thirds, but I was able to blend it to the shade I wanted. And I didn't get any patchiness or anything like that. This is so good. So let me go ahead and do the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. Now that I'm done with the rest of my makeup, let's go and take a look at my eyes. I don't have on mascara because I left my mascara in the car and I just don't feel like going to go get it. So we're just going to ignore that and just pretend that I have mascara on. As of right now, this is my favorite eye primer. Of course, I don't even know what it's going to look like at the end of the day, but this has made my application process of my eyeshadow so fast, so quick, so easy. Everything just looks and feels just so beautiful. I am in love. Let's go ahead and do a close-up of both of my eyelids. You guys have to see just how smooth and buttery and just beautiful this looks. Okay, so here's the non-prime side. I didn't want the outer thirds to be as dark as it is right now, but because I already laid out the eyeshadow on my bare eyelid, this is as good as it's gonna get. And then here's the prime side. It is looking so good. I was able to smooth everything out. I was able to make it as light as I wanted it to be. And it was just so easy. I am loving this so, so much. It's been 10 hours, so let's go and take a look at my eyes. Okay guys, so we're here in Texas where it is super hot and extremely humid, and I just want you guys to know that, so that way you guys know what this all has been through. Now let's go ahead and talk about the non-prime side first, which we can all guess it doesn't look that great. Now, I don't have any eyeshadow on my actual eyelid. I do have it on like the outer thirds, but that's pretty much it. It just does not look that great, and it's not the most desirable look to have whenever you are having a long makeup day. Okay, so now for the prime side, it is still looking so good. I do think that it has faded just a bit, but we're here in Texas, like I said, and it's crazy humid, but I don't see transfer. I don't see creasing. I do think that this is still looking so, so good. So I need you guys to see just how good this is looking compared to the non-prime side. Okay, so let's look at the non-prime side. This is just not the most desirable look. As I said, the eyeshadow is completely gone from my eyelids, and the eyeshadow that you do see has faded a lot. And here's the prime side looking so good after a 10-hour wear. There's no creasing, there's just no transfer, just a bit of fading, but it still looks so soft and so beautiful. Today's day 2 and I have nothing on my eyelids, so let's go ahead and give this eye primer another shot. Now let's go ahead and just ignore my extremely red nose. I was, popping a lot of blackheads. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Again, I am only going to be putting this on the right eyelid, and I will not be setting it with translucent setting powder today. I'm going to go straight into the eyeshadow. Now that this is dried down, I'm going to go ahead and go straight into the eyeshadow. and place it all over the lid. So that laid down beautiful, and it actually looks a lot more vibrant than yesterday whenever I set it with a translucent setting powder. Now for the test that I love the most, the blending process. Okay, so this has blended out beautifully. I don't see any patchiness, any skipping, any tugging. Now to deepen up the outer corner. Okay guys, now that I have finished up this eye, I was able to get just a little bit closer to the mirror, and I did notice some tugging marks in the creases of my eyelid. It's not really that noticeable, but I did notice something that I didn't notice yesterday. My eyelid just looks a little bit more dry. I just noticed a lot more wrinkles in my hooded eye. My eyelid just looks a little bit older, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna show you guys up close, but I'm also of course gonna do an up close after I'm done with all of my makeup, so that way you can see side by side whenever everything is done and I have all the powder on. I feel like then you'll be able to really see like the wrinkles and creases and stuff on both eyes side by side. So anyway, here's what it's looking like. Yeah. Okay guys, so here are the tug marks I was talking about in the creases, but you can't really see unless I open my eyes like super wide and lift my eyebrows. But I feel like you can just see how dry and wrinkly my hooded eye is. Like it just seems more exaggerated. And then here's my eyelid without all of the makeup, all of the powder drying my eyelid out. So yeah. Okay, let me do the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. Okay, so I couldn't record any audio whenever I came back with the rest of my makeup because there was a lot of yard work going on outside and it was crazy loud, but I made sure to do my close-ups for you guys. So I did have some tugging marks in the creases of my eyelids, but my eyeshadow looked absolutely beautiful and vibrant. Now here's a comparison of the dryness of my eyelids. I hope you can see what I'm talking about. It's nothing really uncomfortable, it's just an observation. But if you have extremely oily eyelids, you might actually really like this. And of course, if you have really dry eyelids, this isn't for you. And here's how my eyeshadow looked at the end of the day. It's been 10 hours, so let's take a look at my eyes. Today here in Texas, it has been up to 104 degrees and the humidity is absolutely no joke, you guys. The minute you step outside, it is like you are in a sauna. It's insane. So I just want you guys to know what all of this has been through. Let's just go ahead and get the non-prime side out of the way. It looks like an absolute disaster. Mascara prints are on my eyelid. I have mascara transfer on my bottom lid. I have no eyeshadow on my actual lid except for, of course, the outer thirds. It just looks really bad. Now for the prime side. I am so shocked. There is no transfer, no creasing, no fading. This literally looks just as fresh as it did when I very first put this on. I have to show you guys what this looks like. Let's do a close-up. So here's what the non-prime side is looking like. It is looking like an absolute mess. There is mascara prints pretty much everywhere. There is no eyeshadow on my eyelid, only on my outer thirds. Okay, so here's what the prime side is looking like. No fading, no creasing, no transferring. And to be honest, I just cannot tell the difference between now and how it looked like from when I very first put this on. It just looks so good and so fresh. Okay guys, so let's go over my overall thoughts with this eyeshadow primer. Now, just like with the Colourpop's Tinted Moisturizer, I am so amazed with how well this held up. I feel like my eyeshadow looked so fresh at the end of the day. I feel like you couldn't even tell that I was wearing eyeshadow for 10 hours. Now, this primer really does do everything that it claims to do. It made my eyeshadow look so smooth and it was just so easy to work with. Those eyeshadows were so easy to blend. And not once did I have any creasing or any transfer. Now, I have yet to have any luck with any eyeshadow primer that works well without being set with a translucent setting powder, but of course the search continues. Now this is $10 and I do think it's Hooded Eye approved and it's totally worth every single penny. Now I do have a question for you guys since we are halfway through this series. Are there any primers that you have purchased in this series? Let me know down in the comments below. What did you like and what did you not? I'm sorry, that is my cat crying outside of the door. He wants to come in the room and just cuddle with me. But anyway, let me know down in the comments below of which ones you purchased and which ones you like and you don't. And if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe for more content. Thank you guys. Bye.